One deck doubled its share of Pioneer in July, and its conversion halved. 6 of 10 June trophies became 9 of 61. Nobody answered the rat. Everybody bought one. This is what adoption does to a combo deck. This is the August state of Pioneer. 1,201 published lists, every archetype label rechecked card by card, because this month, the labels are half the story. Chapter 1. The Rat Paradox, and what the deck did about it. The engine has been public since Neon Dynasty. Greasefang returns any vehicle from your graveyard at the start of combat. Pointed at Parhelion 2, 5 power, 2 4/4 angels, and 13 flying damage lands on turn 3. And the rat's power is exactly the 4 that Crew 4 asks for. The package costs $1.27. That price tag is why it's spread, and the whole problem with expecting a ban to fix anything. In June, Greasefang was 7.6% of published lists, and won 6 of the 10 events we could name. In July, it grew to 12.8, and won 9 of 61. Nobody solved the rat with hate cards. The format solved it by all playing it at once. One honest caveat before anyone quotes the 6 of 10. June's winners table rested on 10 events. July's rests on 61. Part of the collapse is a sample big enough to argue back. The deck spent July rebuilding itself. Jennifer Walters went from a 2 of curiosity to 81 of 112 lists. Her front face has one line. Opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Every counterspell, every removal spell, held up for the rat. Switched off on exactly the turn that matters. June protected the combo for 4 mana. This costs 2, and it blocks. Thundering Broodwagon cycles for 2. Card selection that leaves a second vehicle in the graveyard. And when the rat brings it back, it destroys a cheap permanent on arrival. Like the hearse that was supposed to stop you. Around them, the plumbing. Professor of Symbology learns into card selection. Cash Grab and Overlord of the Baelmerk mill 4 and take something back. And Yathan Roadwatcher reanimates any creature at mana value 3 or less, which is Greasefang's number exactly. The Orzhov build went the other way. Monument to Endurance in all 42 lists, fed by 3 separate 2-drops that discard on purpose. Draw a card, make a treasure, or drain 3, every turn. It's a real deck. Inside the archetype, it's losing the argument roughly 1 list to 3. And the tell of the month. July's winning Abzan list packs Unlicensed Hearse in its own sideboard. When the best hate card in the room is for the mirror, the deck wasn't answered, it was adopted. Chapter 2. What actually took over? Izzet 4 different ways. Every Pioneer table you'll read this week gets the top deck wrong. Ours included, until we checked. Izzet Prowess is the format's number 1 at 14.8%. Getting to that number took card-by-card work because our classifier files it under 3 labels, and one of them is a bucket with a completely different deck inside. The core is the June shell, Emberheart Challenger, Monastery Swiftspear, Soulscar Mage. 1 mana threats that grow with every spell you cast. Flow State is in effectively every list. Top 3, take 1, and once an instant and a sorcery sit in your graveyard, take 2 instead. In a deck built entirely out of cheap spells, that clause is basically always on. The Riser is Quantum Riddler. Warp lets you put it down early for 2 mana when you need a blocker. Later, it's a 4/6 flyer, and while your hand is 1 card or fewer, every draw becomes 2. An aggro deck that empties its hand by design could not ask for a better top end. Pedrastone won 5 events on this shell in July. Nobody in the format won more. The deck rewards reps. Hiding inside the same bucket, 44 Vivi Ornitier lists. A 0/3 that grows with every non-creature spell, pings each opponent, and turns a full turn of cantrips into a mana engine. It shares a color pair with Prowess and almost nothing else. And the deck we owe you a correction on? Last month, we dismissed the reported tablet control deck as a phantom. It isn't. It just isn't Jeskai. It's Izzet Lessons, the Avatar lesson package with Gran as the engine, the tablet in the 75, and Ral as the payoff. 4 July trophies across 3 pilots, 51 lists, and the best conversion of any deck with a real sample, 30.8%. The field still isn't ready for it, and Wizards told you about this deck a month ago. If you want one receipt for why archetype tables need reading rather than quoting, take 1 July challenge winner. Our MTGO feed calls it Izzet Phoenix, our tournament feed calls it UR Aggro, and the research called it Izzet Midrange. The list has no Phoenix, no Treasure Cruise, no Prowess core. It's the Vivi deck. 3 labels, 3 different misses. The zombie labels shuffle on, and there are 2 now. 14 UR Cutter lists with 0 copies of the banned card, and a Dimir Yorion label where Yorion appears in 3 lists of 44. Add Phoenix at 3.2, and 4 genuinely different Izzet decks hold 311 of 1,201 lists, a quarter of Pioneer. Chapter 3. The best new deck in the format has the wrong name on it. Strip the wrong label off those 44 lists, and underneath is the most interesting thing to happen to Pioneer in July, a Dimir Tempo deck led by Momentum Breaker. Read the trigger with Greasefang in mind, a 2-mana edict that names vehicles out loud in the exact month the rat stopped converting. Around it, permanents that refuse to trade down. Nowhere to Run kills warded creatures at instant speed. Cryogen Relic draws a card going in and going out. And Fear of Isolation returns your own enchantment, so everything triggers twice. One list in June, 3.7% of the format in July, converting at 28.6. This is the deck nobody has a sideboard plan for yet. It's also where the Field's Disruption actually went. Duress in 20 of its 44 lists, the closest thing July has to a hate count, and it's in the new deck, not the old ones. Chapter 4, What Died in July, and the $21 card that died with it. Red deck wins fell from 15.2 to 8.5% of lists, and its conversion nearly halved. The biggest drop of any deck in the format, with an untouched core. The tell is Hexing Squelcher. In June, we told you the $21 2-drop was perfectly positioned against the control uptick, 47 of 100 lists. In July, it is in exactly 1, because the thing it was aimed at left the room. Azorius control fell from 10.2 to 5.5%, the second biggest drop. Our data can't say whether Squelcher killed Drago, or Red cut a dead card once Drago left on its own. Shares don't carry causation. What's left unlearned June's lesson. Supreme Verdict jumped from 12 lists to 35. Beza is everywhere, and for the 3rd month running, the winning control deck is straight blue-white. The Jeskai deck coverage keeps naming does not exist in our corpus. And one correction on us. We called Badgermole Cub a $48 uncommon last month. It's a mythic. The price was right, the rarity wasn't. Chapter 5. The numbers. Receipts for everything you just heard. The merged July table. Prowess on top once you reunite its 3 labels. The rat second, present everywhere, converting nowhere near June. The rock held best of the old guard on the strength of its mid-range core. And notice what the top 5 hides. The 2 4% decks below the fold, Lessons, and the mislabeled Dimir deck, convert better than everything above them. That's where August's winners are hiding. Now grade Wizards' June scorecard against this. Quote, combo decks like Greasefang have seen a downtick in play. Wrong on play, up 5 points. Right on outcome, and early. Quote, the Izzet Shell's share has dropped to a more appropriate number. That one aged badly, a quarter of the format. But on diversity, they're right, and so is the format. 61 events produce 19 named winning archetypes, plus 1 our classifier just files as unknown. 20 winning decks in a month is not a sick format. Chapter 6, August 10th, the calendar, and what the Hobbit actually changes. First, a correction to our own July gloom. The Grassroots calendar exists. 11 paper and non-MTGO events named winners in July, weeklies in Katowice and Kyiv, 2 Minato Mirai Opens, and Osaka's Emperor of Pioneer tournament in its 19th season. Small, volunteer run, mostly Japan and Eastern Europe, which sharpens the structural complaint rather than softening it. Pioneer still has no seat in the 2026 Premier Play structure. The MTG Heroes version of the argument is the fair one. The format declined because its competitive ecosystem disappeared. What it's missing is a spotlight, not gameplay. Our data agrees with the second half emphatically. So, August 10th. There is no attributable ban conversation for any Pioneer card. Not Greasefang, not Parhelion, not Treasure Cruise, not Shieldred. Wizards is on record as content, and the numbers back the contentment. Build for the next 3 weeks as though nothing moves. The rumor filter stays simple. Amalia is already banned, and Guide of Souls was never legal in Pioneer for a single day. Ban lists naming them are fiction. We rechecked both so you don't have to. The Hobbit lands August 14th, 4 days after the announcement. The one card with a real Pioneer case is the Queen of Dale. Read the trigger carefully. It fires on your opponent's first non-creature spell each turn, including your turn, when they hold up interaction. In a format whose top deck casts 1-mana cantrips for a living, that's the right question to ask. Whether a 2/1 survives Burst Lightning is the release data question. And at a $46 pre-order ask, you're paying for the optimistic answer. And before anyone pre-orders for the reprints, the One Ring, Orcish Bowmasters, the whole deep reprint sheet sits in the Commander Companion set. Eternal legal, not Pioneer legal. Not one of those cards lands in the main set. As of our data date, 70 main set cards were still unrevealed, so treat every Hobbit read as provisional. Because the number to watch isn't on the August 10th page. It's whether the rat's conversion keeps sliding now that a 3.7% deck casts a vehicle sacrifice edict on turn 2. Bottom line, the volume pick is Izzet Prowess, the value pick is Izzet Lessons, and respect the Dimir deck with the wrong name on it. Every number in this video, list by list, is on deckcortex.com, link below. Subscribe for next month's refresh. Same format, fresh receipts.